All right, this is for Kelly Knowles from Artcore. Um, Basically, she just wants a critique on it. The first thing I would say right off the bat is perspective. What looks odd is you've kind of got this fish lens kind of look. Um, so the problem lies in the perspective of it. Now, I just made some 3D objects real quick. So following this type of perspective, um, to get your, let me, like, decent one here. Okay, so this one here, from this perspective point, to kind of keep the curves that you're looking at, the issue is that the curves aren't, things aren't centered right. So as you can see from here, I can kind of really quickly just draw over here. Just gonna sketch this out here. And I get that there's a little bit more detail than what you've got in there, but this gives you the kind of the base idea. So with the perspective as it is, all right, like so, this changes the perspective on this. Now, if you render it the way you have it, no matter how high you have this, you're rendering it from the vanishing point. So this piece here would be flat, like so. The other way to do it is to basically lessen the angle here, and that way you can see the top here. So this lies a part of the perspective issue that's going on. So that changes the way things look. The angles aren't right for the circles and things like that. So those are things that need to be adjusted. The next thing that I would say right off the bat is because you're using such a distorted perspective, things need to overlap a little bit more. So looking at this from a proportional standpoint, this character is really distorted. And it shouldn't be because she's at basically a 90 degrees. So looking at this, if I'm drawing this, and we're just going to draw my handle here. All right, one head, two heads is the breast, which is right. Three heads is the navel pelvis region. And then she should be four heads sitting, and then it should be basically built up. So in this reality, what's happening is the torso is too long or too short, and for the proportion of the head, and then the feet get smaller as you go through. So what I would do is to change this proportion. What you want to do is I would almost make the head bigger. So her head, I would scale to be a little bit bigger and down a little bit more. So that gives a lot better facial proportion, because the distortion too, looking at the original, distance-wise, this character the middle character would be a lot smaller. So get her proportions a little bit thicker, and then the feet need to be adjusted too. So if you're doing the cross-legged, the other aspect is that the proportions for the feet would be adjusted. So if you're skewing that, I would see more of the bottom of the foot, like so. And I think the foot would be larger, and it would skew in this direction, like that. Whereas this one kind of goes back here and adjusts accordingly. So basically, you want to adjust that kind of foot in that area. Same thing with the arm here, is if you're getting that proportion going on, you want the shoulder as kind of this developed muscle, and then the muscle actually comes more forward for pectorals. And then, so if this is the pectoral ridge, then basically the breast is in the right spot, but the muscle's not. So that comes here, and then what you want to do is you want to overlap this. So it's coming in more. It's not getting that aspect of you want that overlap on there. So there's more distortion here. And then the hand basically moves over. So that is another aspect of what you kind of want to push with your character. So if I were to do this, what I would do is I would grab this hand here. Let me just really quickly rough it. And that would actually come something like this. And I'd probably actually like so. And then this would get painted over here. And just kind of pop that in there. So that would change that perspective and the way things look in that direction right there. The other aspect of what I would do is, and I built this stuff in 3D, so what you could do is easily model this stuff in something like SketchUp or one of the free programs out there, especially since it's mostly primitive shapes. So that changes that aspect as well. The other thing is you kind of got a weird light source going on. If the light source is from this direction, so let me just kind of run this through. So if the light source is from this direction, the issue I see right off the bat is that you're not getting that light direction consistent in a lot of spots. One, having the leg longer. Let's go and fix that real quick. And maybe a little bit. Like so. Like that. So this, what I would actually have happen, and I think it would be cooler, is to take this foot and bring it down here. Let's just paint this real quick here, and I would pop in like this, and then you could put this shadow covering over it from this leg, basically, if it's that strong of a light source. And then still pop out this that basically shows how strong that light source is. It gives it a little bit more interest, because that visual shadow would come across and basically block out that source. And then if that's the case too, you're also going to have really dark on this side here, and then it's going to cast a shadow, and that'll actually push out that side there. So those types of effects, I think, adds a lot more to your character. And then you can even darken that, and it'll pop her leg out a little bit more. The other thing is the way the ear is. Looking at this, what I would say right off the bat is from ear back, so basically you want to form out her head like so, and from a 3/4 shape, the jawline comes up here like this, right, and that kind of gives you an awkward shoulder position. So the shoulder would come up over here, and what's happening now is the legs aren't in the right position because the spine would be over on this far edge. Even if the characters are leaning, the whole arm shoulder issue runs into some aspects of wrong issues right there. So basically, if this is the planar side right there, this comes over, and if she's looking directly at the character, here's the nose, and the nose would only pop out like so, and then the ear, the ear would actually face more towards me, so you'd see more of the back of the ear and kind of less of that side aspect of the ear. So that would be another aspect that I would fix and adjust. And again, if you have such a strong light source going on, the issue is this character back here should have that strong of a light source too, unless there's something blocking her, but you don't have anything visual that's blocking her, so it's causing issues. And again, the light source should be stronger in the back here, so that needs to be adjusted. You know, so darken the back of the arms, and you can even put a rim light in there where the rim light would pop out that a little bit more. So those are things that you really want to pay attention to. So those are the proportional changes that I would make right off the bat. The other thing, looking at this real quick, is her calves are really long, so I would almost move them up and bring them down here like this. And then again, fix your shadows so that they're consistent, like so. All right, and that's what I would do. Also get like better highlights like on the knees. So you want that skin deformation. So you know you want the knees to be as shiny as the dress. The other thing too is get your fabric into you know, like this dress here would really bunch up and create much more wrinkles in the front of it versus stretching around the sides. So those are things that need to be adjusted as well. So like I said, that's going to be a big thing. And then like I said before, the legs would need to be adjusted because they're from the wrong angle. So I would almost basically fix that, something like this. So things like that would be adjusted too. All right, I hope that helps.